All right.
All right, man. It's Sunday and we're doing a special after show because I had shit to do today except do my work clothes and watch Sonic 3. So how you guys been doing today?
I'm
Doing pretty
What's up,
tired.
good.
guys? Tired?
Yes.
I want Joseph's shirt. I love that fucking
Yeah,
shirt.
I love that shirt.
I have those old style baseball shirts with like the sleeve, the different colored
Hmm.
sleeve. I have that shirt with that on
Nice.
it. Yeah, I'll wear it next time.
I have Jerry's favorite shirt, Crash the Crown.
I have one of
Yeah.
those too.
Actually, you know what? I listened to that the other day. I think there's 3 songs that I like from it now. So it's growing on
Oh,
Three.
me
cool.
Ooh,
slowly. I mean, it's been what,
Which
wonderful.
3
which
years?
songs?
I
I can't
haven't listened
remember.
to that album at all, so
Yeah, it's a great
I
album. I
like
love it.
it. It's not as good as the
It
mission, but I like it.
no. And I
But
just don't
Mission's
like
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I get it. Are we recording? We talking about
Yeah.
this on the show.
Yeah, we're recording.
yes.
Oh,
I
okay.
said I
Well,
said we're doing a
all
special
right.
Sunday.
Okay. Well, I mean, like JY said, he said he's lazy now. He doesn't want to write or do any much, just play whatever's written for him or sing whatever's written for him. But I mean, this dude Will Ivanovich, is that his name?
Yep.
Yep.
Seems to be having a lot of the writing credits. Now I know he had writing credits on the mission, but I don't know, something about the mission, the music was better in my opinion. I don't know why.
He's
I
been with
can't
Tommy
tell you
Shaw
why.
for a while.
I
That
get
was
that,
like
yeah.
they were really I think like look if you read like how the two albums are made
Mm.
with the mission, they were like Will and Tommy were like really into this like whole like kind of concept and were really like they had an idea going in of what they wanted the album to be. It was a cohesive kind of vision.
Yeah,
With Crash of the Crown, it was not. It was whatever they were working on at the
sure.
time throughout COVID. They just whatever they had an idea, they just kind of put it together. And you see interviews with them, they kind of say, yeah, it kind of comes off um
Yeah.
a little bit more all over the place, but that was kind of where they were at the time. It was a reflection of the world being all over the place.
It wasn't as cohesive as the mission was.
No.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. It's
No,
kind
I
of
just
herky
if
jerky.
if you were to compare Dennis's solo albums to Crash the Crown, Dennis blows them away. Sorry.
I still haven't
Dennis's
listened to Dennis's solo album.
Oh,
Dennis's first
really?
two solo albums are amazing. And August Dadra's album is amazing too. Dennis's guitar player, man, it's fucking
What's that
good.
song called? The Last Guitarist or something on that album? Fucking he's
From
got a
what?
on one of this last he has a thing talking about
Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
in his
yeah, yeah, yeah.
guitar. And it's pretty fucking
I haven't
cool.
listened to him since I got him basically like three
Really?
months after I got him. It's been a while. I need to listen to him some more. Yeah.
Great fucking albums. I want to do a
Well, you
review of
guys keep shooting shit my way. I have to keep listening to every something new every fucking day.
shooting
So I don't
shit.
got
What
time to go
shit
I
do
back.
was gonna
I
say
haven't
that's the thing about being on a group with all you guys is everybody has different things. They're oh here check this out here check this out. Like I
Hey
have
man,
so
blackout in
many
the red
piles of
room. Mooger, you're all red tonight, man.
yeah.
Am I red?
yeah,
You're like
You have a red
orange.
aura about
yeah,
you today.
you look like you're ready. You're in the red light district,
Very,
getting ready
very,
to get it
very,
Demon
on. Get
roar.
it on,
very
buddy.
Slayer red.
Carrie
You
King, yeah.
I don't know, man. My
You,
camera must be.
you look like hell. You look like Hellboy. Oh, okay. You don't have to. We don't need to see your spittle.
And like
That
that,
actually
I'm not as
worked.
red.
Oh,
That
wait.
actually worked.
Whoa, it
And like
worked.
that, I'm not as red anymore, man.
It worked. That's wow. What did you
It's
do?
a bloody miracle.
You cleaned the
Magic
camera.
saliva.
Magic saliva. Shit. I should bring that on my phone. Sometimes it gets slurry, and I'm joking. Ugh.
Well, cheers to everyone here.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers, baby.
Oh, you got Jack. I got Evan Williams. Who's got? I
Lights
don't know.
up to you.
Travis is making some creme brulee there.
Look, flame on. Johnny Storm there, man. The human torch.
All right. I want to bring
Uh,
something up real quick.
Oh boy.
Look, no, no, no. I
uh,
love, don't get me wrong, I love doing our shows, BS and freeform. I love doing both. But sometimes I think, I don't know if people will think it. I mean, we're doing great, we're getting views and all that. But do you guys think that this is mostly for Mooger and Mark? Do you guys think sometimes it gets a little on the stale side, especially BS? Mark, what do you think?
Oh, I kind of put subjects in there to kind of mess it around. You know, Mooger gives us like shit about producers, and I think
Yeah.
we're kind of mixing it up lately. And I
Well,
want like BS. I had Travis brought up the Judas Priest thing. We could do a discography discussion on Judas Priest, but make it 2 episodes.
sure.
Yeah.
20 albums in one
Yeah.
night is a tough thing to
Or
do. And that's
we
not
could
counting the
also
live
do a-
albums or anything. So.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just do the studio albums, like 10
But,
or 10.
what would
We-
be some cool stuff to do on the show differently?
could-
Well,
we
well,
could,
some things would be like it seems that all the free forms are album reviews.
Right.
Is that supposed to be? I'm late to the party, so is the freeform supposed to be only album reviews?
No, we've been doing your stuff. If you guys give an
Well,
idea.
and I try, and I think I fail, but I try to bring some different things to it, like deep dives and
I am not at all bitching about it. I just think that sometimes
You
we
guys-
need
you
to
guys
like
think
change
you're-
course a little bit.
You guys think you're failing in the last freaking 14
No, I don't
days?
think I'm failing. You don't get it. That's what I'm saying. I'm
So
saying,
like Jerry, which part of like the BS do you think is getting stale?
well, every now and then add some difference. Maybe do something.
movies.
We
No,
do
movies.
movies.
Just add different
Hey,
segments.
hey.
Maybe do a trivia segment or something like that.
That would be
Trivia
fun.
shows. You look at all the trivia shows these rock podcasts do. They do good. People
It'll be a
watch
lot of
them.
fun.
You know, when's
Stuff
the
like
last
that.
time we've done
Jerry, every
What,
every
Booger?
like every 11th episode, I try to pass out. Okay, I
That
try
is
to make
good.
it.
Yes, that is good.
I try to make it somewhat salty.
If
Somewhat
you guys
salty.
ever, if
Yeah.
you guys ever want to do like a trivia
I-
thing on BS, I'd love to host
Yeah.
that and like make up a whole thing for you
Yeah,
guys
you
to
could
play.
do that. You could do like a
That
game
would be
show.
fun.
We
I
could-
am
like,
not
like,
bitching about-
like Decibel Geek does. You know, that's fucking
Joseph,
I-
you would be the perfect person to put a trivia together for us.
Yeah.
I mean, Decibel Geek got beat the geek. We need to maybe come up with another kind of trivia show. For
Yeah,
that.
we
Somebody
could
come
do
up with
like
a
a-
title.
We could do things where it's like one band or like a specific genre or like a decade or something like that.
Yeah.
But Mark, I'm not bitching about any. I love what we're doing, man. But I just think sometimes we could probably maybe do a different segment. That's all I'm
I've
suggesting.
been seeing in the last 2 months, our numbers have been flying. on
Exactly,
Freeform.
and I'm not complaining about that.
Well,
You know?
we could maybe we could do
If
like
you
a
think,
BS
I'm sorry, Travis. One thing. I mean, if you think that's a mistake to change because we're doing well, that's fine. I agree.
No,
with you.
I'm never in for complacency, and I love it when Mooger brings up like producer episodes or
Yeah.
talk about Metallica's thing and whatever. Fleming Remsen was a good one. You know, I like Mooger coming up with shit like that, and sometimes we got on BS. We got a lady coming on who's a female vocalist, Becky Roberts. We're gonna do our top 11 female vocalist albums, which Travis.
She's a good looking girl. She's a good looking girl, actually.
Yeah, she's really cool, man.
No,
I
but
think
like
I
I
think
said-
with what
Like-
were you saying, Jerry?
And I would like for you guys to have some input. If you got anything you guys want to be on and do something different, man, you know,
I have
maybe
a
just
couple-
run
I got a
it
couple
by
ideas.
us. Run it by us. I mean,
Well, Travis's idea was good. It just needs to be split up
Right.
in 2 episodes.
I got a couple ideas. Well, we've done this idea before, but I haven't seen it on BS in a while, like doing an album versus an album, like with the same amount of tracks.
those are fun. Yeah,
Yeah, we haven't
those
done that
are
in a
fun.
while.
But I think I've
Yeah.
only did one, and it was with Joseph. We did
Yeah.
Aerosmith "Get Your Wings" versus AC/DC "High Voltage,"
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
guys did "Holy Diver" versus "Blizzard of Oz." Then you did "Somewhere in Time" versus "Seventh Son."
We
I
haven't done
also
the
have-
we haven't
I
done the
also-
discography battle in
Well,
a
the
while.
Somewhere in Time stuff was on Freeform. That
like
I
we
was,
did
also
we did
thought-
the
I
Iron
also
Maiden
thought of
versus
an
Judas Priest
idea-
discography
Yeah.
battle.
yeah.
I also thought of an idea where we could do it maybe this BS session we could do once a month, where it could be like what we've been listening to or what we've been watching.
11 album 11
Like, everybody picks, like,
movies.
I don't know
Like-
about 11 each, but maybe like
Because
people
pick out
probably
like
like
10
want to go into
things we've been
Yeah.
11 things we've
Yeah.
been either watching or listening to or even reading.
or maybe pick like 5 albums and then 5 miscellaneous other
Yeah,
things like
yeah.
movies,
Yeah.
books,
Uh-huh.
anything like
I-
that.
I love the movies BS sessions. I haven't done many of those, but I do like doing movies because that's my other
Yeah.
biggest passion besides music is movies.
They don't do very well. I don't think. As much
Yeah,
as
they
music
do. The
ones
movie episodes do.
I thought you said they didn't.
No, I said our movie episodes were doing well, and then we did them too much in consecutive, and then the
Oh,
show-
Yeah, we
gotcha.
did like we
Yeah.
did like a month
Yeah.
straight of movie
yeah, and
episodes.
it started
Well,
dropping.
I had a plan.
In
I
my
have a
own
BS
opinion, I would love to see a movie. I would love to see a movie. I would love to join a movie episode on a movie that
Yeah.
I definitely have
absolutely
a.
not.
I have a BS idea, and I.
Is there
do-
11 James Bond movies?
That's what I was gonna
26.
say. That's what I was gonna
There's
say.
26.
I was gonna say that's actually what I was about to say, and we could have Joseph and I on because I'm a big James Bond fanatic. So I think that would be a
That'd
Did you
be-
know
it'd
that
be all Roger Moore.
Simon was once Simon Le Bon?
Simon Le Bon. Bond.
Simon
Le
Le
Bon.
Bon.
No, like I said, Mark, I'm not complaining about. I love what we're doing on these shows, but
No, I was
sometimes
gonna bring up our numbers. You know, in the last 14 days, we're
I know they're good.
1,600K, man, the last 14 days. And our new 500th episode is like 378 downloads already.
That's awesome.
Well, no, I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal here, but there was someone on that probably.
Yeah.
Well,
Not
what
Travis.
ratings?
Travis is the one that's
The Sabotage did 218 so far. And the freaking Genesis did 211. So
That's you know what my problem with that Sabotage episode is it's too short.
See, my problem with that Sabotage episode is you didn't even review a good Sabotage.
I'm getting ready. I can't wait for the Manowar episode.
I needed more bitching from Mark.
What is that Manowar episode with that dude?
that John guy is totally up their ass with Manowar, man. I've never seen a guy love Manowar.
John who?
John somebody. Forgot. I'll figure it out. He always comes on and puts a Manowar quote in the comics.
I ain't that huge of a Manowar fan, but I do like that.
Loincloth.
Who's the new guy on the RMCP page? He's always posting glam hair bands.
I think there's some fake profiles lately on the RMC.
The guy's profile picture, it looks so
it would not surprise me. It would not surprise me at all.
Well, that John Bonham
I see one Oasis post done.
Yeah.
I blocked that John. I blocked that Jason Bonham.
Yeah, I have no clue who the Jason Bonham profile is.
That's Ian.
It's got to be.
No, it's not Ian.
I thought it might have been Ian.
I think it's Anthony Bonix.
Oh, that's a flashback. Ooh.
Yeah, me and Ralph were talking about Anthony when that happened, man. I was like saying, Ralph, look what he's saying here. I was on that metal station in his chat room when that shit was happening.
That was around the time because Anthony Bonex was a big part of the Bill Wang drama too.
Oh, I don't even know what happened with Bill Wang. It's like
I'm not gonna. That's a long story that I know more.
I know
about it, and I know about it, and it's really.
I've had some conversations about.
I was never friends with Bill Wang, but I think I might know the story.
Oh, he's on one of our worst recorded episodes ever. The Cure Head on the Door, and he was pissed off about that.
I never really had much. I honestly never had much contact with them.
Let's just say that he and Charles have some similar
they
proclivities.
Have a similar enemy.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying that they have a similar
they drink
hobby, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
They drink a lot.
Yeah. But I'm saying at least
Bill Wang has good taste in music.
Charles does too. He likes the Beatles.
Charles does. He does have a good taste.
He just takes some things too far.
Yeah, he just never does the Oasis stuff. It's his favorite band, so you know what? But I'm like that.
I wouldn't have been his friend if he had shitty taste in music.
I ain't gonna lie. I still like to kick it to Oasis sometimes.
It's been a while since I listened to Oasis, mainly because of him.
He just made Oasis suck for me worse than they.
They're just you know. I think those first two albums are pretty good. I always liked, some might say, because I heard it on Guitar Hero, and I thought it was a great song. And
I mean, you can't argue with the numbers for the tickets, man. So somebody likes them. I mean,
I'm surprised it happened. I'm surprised
it hasn't actually happened yet.
Yeah, that's true. But no, if you guys do want to do a trivia episode sometime soon, just let me know a few weeks in advance, like what kind of topic you would want to do, and I can come up with a.
It could be after the female. We don't have
Manowar.
I probably wouldn't be able to come up with Manowar trivia questions if I'm being honest.
I got an idea. Well, look behind me. Why don't we rank the tracks off of the heavy metal soundtrack?
What's behind you?
The heavy metal. Heavy metal.
That's nothing. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Don't get me wrong, but that's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Or
I don't know. It's one of my favorite.
Also, I hate most of the songs on that soundtrack.
Yeah.
I don't. I like them. Actually.
I'd rather do Fastaway, Trick or Treat.
I think Don Felder has the best. Don Felder has the best songs.
Even the Don Felder songs.
No, those are good.
You don't like the Don Felder songs?
I do.
I would rather do the Fastaway soundtrack.
I like the Riggs songs. The radar. I love that tune. That's cool.
All right, man. You guys got any subjects? I got some subjects, but I want
Well,
to
that
see
was that was what I was going to bring up. I was going to ask
All
you guys.
right.
So what do you got? What do you, has anybody else?
what do you got? Who else got anything before I say anything?
You know, I've been on a massive electric light orchestra kick lately, and
Nothing wrong with that.
anybody want to talk about like what? If is there any? You guys are all electric light orchestra fans, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not that versed in all their albums, but I like basically the hits. I'm a
I
hits
think
guy.
that
Them.
they're phenomenal. I especially like those first run of albums that had more of a glam leaning to them when Roy Wood was still part of the band before he formed Wizard. Like if you hear 1052 Overture, and I really think that version of Roll Over Beethoven is so wacky, yet it works. Like they take the classical piece and then they mix it with the Chuck Berry song. I think that's an amazing cover, and it's the only good song on that album. To me, I think ELO found its footing with El Dorado.
Oh, that's a great album. I know that album in its entirety. That's a good one.
My favorite. My
I
favorite.
like Out of the Blue though. Out of the Blue is my favorite.
That's my favorite. That's my
Yeah.
favorite. I have it on. I have the original pressing on vinyl.
I got it on vinyl too somewhere.
You don't like Xanadu?
I found Out of the Blue at this old record store near my house, and I found the original 1977 pressing of Out of the Blue.
Come on, Jared. All over
Still works
the
great.
world. I
One
love
of the
that fucking
best.
song.
One of the best double albums of all time.
And suddenly, off the Xanadu centric, suddenly the wheels are in motion.
That was an awful fucking movie.
Discovery.
Hey, I love that movie. It's so fucking cheesy. It's good. It's got the guy from fucking
the Warriors.
Warriors in there. Come on, man.
Honestly, I think Magic from Olivia Newton-John is one of the best pop songs.
No,
of all
I love
time.
Olivia Newton-John, but
That's one of the best pop songs ever.
And the song she does with the guy from Singing in the Rain. It was good on that.
not Fred Astaire.
Not Fred Astaire. Gene Kelly.
Gene Kelly.
Gene Kelly.
And the other dude is huge in English. She did a song with him too. Fucking forgot his name. I like that whole
What do you think about
album.
that movie, Mooger? You like that? You ever seen it?
Fuck
Xanadu? Do you
Yeah.
like it? What an awful
I fucking love that movie, man.
Oh,
Did you
come
watch it
on,
as a
dude,
kid,
really?
Jerry?
No, I watched it
Uh-oh.
recently with my
Oh,
sister
you
a
watched
few
it
years
recently.
ago.
See,
No,
I love that soundtrack. I love Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, she looked good in
And,
there, though. I'll say that much.
Oh fuck yeah!
But
Hey,
the thing,
come on,
Judy
man!
Money used
It's a
anything.
goofy ass
Ah.
movie. It's a goofy ass.
She wasn't known for great movies. I mean, what was that one with Rick? Not Rick Springfield. Was it Rick Springfield?
I like the
No.
Rick Springfield movie.
The other John Travolta movie she did with him. What was it called?
Twist of Fate.
Yeah. Oh God, what a terrible movie.
Oh,
that
I
I
like
just
the
I just
movie.
love Grease. That's the only one I really care about.
Yeah, me
Grease
too.
is Grease rules. I love
Grease
I
is the
also-
word.
Hey, you beat me to it.
I even love the second one.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
now we can get
Oh.
off that subject.
Anyway, Mark, what were you
here's
gonna-
here's
No, but-
something. What's your favorite movie that you know is really shitty, but you still love it?
Caveman.
Boy.
Trick or treat.
Oh,
That's a
God.
good movie.
That's a good.
You know-
no, it's not.
No, the movie's horrible,
you
but I
acknowledge
fucking love it.
You acknowledge it sucks, but you can't help but.
I
love
got
it.
a lot of those in my movie collection, like Cabin Boy with Chris Elliott
Oh,
and
Caveman. Ringo
What
about-
Starr. Come on.
what
man.
about-
and Strange Brew, Doug and Bob McKenzie. I know
That's not a
terrible.
shitty movie though.
It's
That's not
kind of
a good movie.
shitty,
What-
dude.
what
Come
about-
on.
what about?
That's
what about-
like
The only good
what's the one-
actor
I
was
got
Max
one.
von Sydow.
what's the one with the cartoon hamburger?
Better
John
Off
Cusack.
Dead.
Now that's kind of a cheesy ass
Well,
movie.
that's a good
I don't,
movie.
honestly, man, that movie didn't age well for me.
For me, it would probably be one of the later Friday the 13th movies, like Friday the 13th Part 5, which is just an awful movie. But
or
I love it.
later,
you know what?
or later
I
Elm
got-
Street
I got
movies.
one.
I
Oh,
like
yeah.
the New York movie.
but
Jason
I
Takes
hate
New York.
all the later. Elm Street movies,
Jason
except for
Takes
Midnight
Manhattan is amazing.
I love the Jerry O'Donnell classic Joe's Apartment.
I love that movie with
Oh,
the roaches.
yeah.
That movie's so crazy.
That's so good. That's so good.
The little roaches talking to him.
Yeah.
Give me a kiss, asshole.
I remember they're on MTV. That's where it started, I think.
Yeah.
They
Well,
had,
that was MTV
commercials.
Productions.
Yeah.
Well, I got something, man.
What?
I just heard this horrible cover, and I'm gonna get it. It's gonna go two-part because sons of famous musicians who try to make it into music and
Oh,
really don't work for me. There's
Yeah.
only a couple that have. Scott Weiland's son Scott did sex type thing and made it a fucking acoustic piece of shit. Did you guys listen to it?
No,
I
don't
heard
plan
it.
on
I
it.
did.
Because you said
I
how much
did.
it sucked, I did not listen
No,
to
I
it.
did, and I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it like you
I
did.
don't want it to ruin the song for me.
Yeah. No,
I
I
love
don't
that
think.
song.
In my opinion, dude, it's not as bad as Mark's putting it out to be, but it's not great. I mean, there's worse out there.
Dude, he fucking had Chucky in the video with him. What the fuck is that shit?
I think
dude.
That is dad?
I didn't watch the video. I was listening to
Dad?
the song as it was being played, so I didn't really pay attention to that.
I think the worst cover song of all time, thanks to Jeff Beers for bringing it to light, was
He probably thinks it's rad.
No, it's that kid from Terminator 2.
Oh, he thinks it's rad. He loves that guy.
He covered "People Are Strange from the Doors." Oh my god!
I never heard that before.
Really,
Edward
really
Furlong?
bad.
Edward Furlong?
Edward Furlong.
It's
Yeah.
What's
so
the
shitty.
song? What's the song? What's the worst cover?
"People Are Strange" by the Doors. Edward Furlong decided to cover it.
Huh.
And
never
Jeff
heard that
Beers
one.
thinks it's rad.
It's really
Probably.
bad, dude.
He
I
loves
love
that guy. He
I
loves
love
that guy.
I
How
love
can you
Jeff-
screw
I
up a
love Jeff
4-chord
Beers and all,
song?
but that song
Pretty much. I agree,
Whoa.
Booger. Yeah.
If you want to hear
4, that's generous. I think it's more like 30.
if you
And
wanna
while
hear-
we're at it, I'm gonna light some fire under.
Oh, I'm gonna do 4 or 5. Yeah.
I hate Wayne's World. I hate that movie.
Oh, I love Wayne's
I'm not a
World,
huge
man.
fan of it.
I hate
Youngins.
that movie's just so. It just reminds me of like those annoying type of people I would meet in high school.
God,
that had a video.
you're a scary hose beast now, Travi.
I'm a hoe. Yeah, I'm a freeform hoe.
You're a hose beast now to me.
I'm beautiful.
Man. The
I'm
best
a-
scene
I'm
in
a-
that
I'm a-
movie is
I'm a
with
cute hoe.
the best scene in that movie is fucking with Ed O'Neill fucking talking about the war at the totem place.
Tia Carrere looked
Real.
really good.
Yeah,
too.
I love that. And
A
I
slow
love Rob,
motion.
I love Rob
Yeah.
Lowe in there, man. Fucking amazing stuff.
I don't like that movie at all.
Hey, but the Scott Weiland thing, the thing is, I hate it when they bring down like a faster song and emote it. He's like emoting it.
Well, yeah, it does. It is kind of, what do you call it?
Have you heard
Emo?
have
Yeah.
you heard "In the Air Tonight" with that girl singing it really slow?
I try to avoid that song at all costs.
Wait,
God,
One of the
who
most
did that?
overrated songs in history of rock and roll.
fuck you.
I like it, but I'll never go out of my way to listen to it.
Who covered that?
I don't know, some chick. I'll look it up later and send it.
It
to
was
you.
on a commercial last year, I think.
They put it in that movie
Yeah.
with the fighting chicks.
I don't watch
Forgot what that
TV,
was.
so it's man.
You don't watch TV?
The Fighting Chicks.
I
There's
just
a movie with
I just-
chicks in it
I
that
just
were
watch
fighting. I
movies,
don't know.
dude. Just watch movies.
I
don't
watch
like
TV too, man. Well, you don't watch Sons of Anarchy or Breaking
No.
Bad?
Love Sons of
I love
Anarchy. is
Bre-
fucking
Better
badass.
Call Saul?
I love
Better Call
Breaking.
Saul's awesome.
I love Breaking Bad. I've never watched Sons of Anarchy.
The first 5 seasons of Walking Dead?
I'm
I don't
still
like-
like
no.
I'm still like 20 years behind on most television.
The Walking Dead. I don't like. I don't know. It just didn't interest
First
me.
5 seasons and then it went off the reservation.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, it
I
did.
watched them all. I watched Dead City. I watched.
Oh, I
Daryl
watched the
Dixon,
first
I
3
watched-
episodes of Dead City. It was like boring.
Oh, dude,
Well,
Negan
my-
became Negan, dude. At the end, it was awesome.
Boring.
See,
Boring.
I watched Walking Dead up to the point that it was just like, okay, so everything just goes to shit. Everybody dies. There's no bright.
And
spot.
Negan killed the
Well,
one good
The
character.
problem with
So
that.
I decided to
I-
left it. My wife watched the conclusion of The Walking Dead, and we have done none of the spinoffs.
Oh, dude, Dead City,
I-
I think is awesome.
My favorite show. Well, my favorite show of all time is a show I didn't even grow up watching. Is Big Bang Theory. That's my favorite TV
That's
Oh,
show.
I
great
love
show.
Big Bang Theory.
Good show.
It's my favorite show of all time, and I didn't even grow up with it because usually when I watch TV shows, I usually watch the ones I just grew up with because I feel comfort. I don't
Oh,
know.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan playing Negan is one of the best.
I
characters
like
in
him
fucking
better
TV
in
history.
fucking Supernatural when he was in there playing the
Yeah.
dad.
He was good in the Watchmen. He was a jerk off in the
Supernatural. I
Watchmen
like
too. That was good.
Yeah.
I like Supernatural.
Supernatural never had a bad season.
It's
Then he
a
plays
great
this nice
show.
guy everybody loves in Grey's Anatomy.
One of the few classic. It's classic now. It sucks. I started watching it from the
Drinking
beginning.
some Coca-Cola.
One of the
now.
classic like shows that didn't have a bad season. Married with Children kind of had a bad season. Dukes
Had a
of
couple.
Hazzard had a bad season. Yeah, it's like, but
Mhm.
Supernatural didn't. They kept moving on. They kept
All 150 of them.
Supernatural, dude. They ended the ending was one of the best endings I've ever seen in my life. And
They even have a Monopoly. They have a Monopoly version of that.
they have
TV show
Cards
now.
Against Humanity on Supernatural too.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Honestly, I just watch YouTube channels of things I'm subscribed to. That's really what I usually just watch.
And the thing is, that show is so good. There's a new show called Tracker, which brings in Jensen Ackles, who's driving a supernatural car and acting like Dean.
Oh, Tracker. That's that dude that was on that This Is Us or whatever.
He was Arrow. He was
Do you
Arrow.
guys like to watch? Do you guys like the show From?
From?
Don't know.
No. What about do you guys like Jack Reacher?
Yes, I like Jack Reacher.
Yes, I've watched a few of them. Yes, it's good.
Oh,
you mean the new Jack Reacher?
Yeah, the new Jack Reacher show.
The TV show with that big fucking buff dude, whatever his name is. Yeah,
it's really good.
Talking about.
Hey, but I was going into the Suns. I like Julian Lennon. I don't like Sean Lennon as much unless he's with Les Claypool. But I don't know about this. I did hear some shit by these two, Nick and Evan, Nick Simmons and Evan Stanley. They're having an album together, and it sounds like fucking acoustic shit or rock, fucking emo. Well, I don't know.
Probably Starbucks coffee shop type.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
Yeah,
they just released a new song today, just video wise, of Evan, and Gene Simmons' sons and another guy, and it was really fucking good, man. It was like a 3-part harmony. It was really
give them a chance
good.
then.
Yeah, maybe
they are from talented families, so
doesn't mean they are talented. They're just using the name to get.
Whatever happened to Sophie? She was kind of cute, man. Gene Simmons' daughter.
She should just go into acting and do something that Gene never got.
Hey,
true.
Did you guys see?
Movies.
Did you guys see the quote unquote Nirvana reunion?
I
fucking loved it. I loved it.
I didn't check it out.
Post Malone ruins everything he touches.
Hey,
no, man.
Those Oreo cookies are pretty good.
I will say this about Post Malone. He's a really nice guy. It seems
Yeah,
like.
he seems like a good guy. I can't stand anything.
He calls everybody sir and ma'am. I mean, he's very respectful.
He seems like a good dude. I can't stand anything he's done musically.
Oh, the guy's a good guy, but I thought it was just punk and fucking dirty, and I just thought it was fucking great.
And I hated
and he misses an entire bar, about half a bar.
Oh, did he?
Almost a half a bar of coming in to sing, and the band doesn't miss a beat. They fucking cover it, and it was so good. You just know that he's with I mean, you got the original band there, of course, and you got Dave Grohl, and nobody missed a beat. He came in a solid half bar late to a chorus, and everything just flowed.
It kind of makes you know how much time they had to rehearse, though, But you should know those songs if he's a big Nirvana fan. You know what I mean? So
I don't know who would be a good vocalist to do those Nirvana.
That would be sacrilege.
If they were to do
that would be sacrilege.
Tour,
I'm not a Nirvana fan, but that would be sacrilege. It'd be like somebody who plays Neil Peart and Rush.
Eddie Vedder could do the songs.
I did like how Joan Jett sounded at the Hall of Fame.
He doesn't sound like that anymore, dude. That was only the first 2 albums.
Maybe.
I agree with Mooger. I can't stand Eddie Vedder's voice. I mean, I'm not a Pearl Jam guy.
Did they invite Pat Smear?
Yeah, the thing is, they're acting like Pat Smear was a member of Nirvana. He was just a touring guitar player.
He was at the end.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if they would have made more albums, Pat Smear would have been an official member of Nirvana.
The thing that apparently Post couldn't pull off, because they were always a one guitar band until Pat came in on the Inutero tour. But Pat did the 2-note, he did that. Yeah. He did that, so Post didn't have to. And I'm like, okay, that's the 2 notes that Pat Smear has ever played, because he's a chord guy, man. He is just like, he just pounds those chords.
Well, yeah, he's a rhythm guitarist.
I love Pat Smear. When he left the Foo Fighters, they weren't the same for a while. So
do you know he was in the Raspberry Beret video?
Yes.
Yeah. Raspberry Beret.
I hate that fucking song.
Do you know he was in a punk band called The Germs that inspired Nirvana?
Are we talking Prince here?
Yeah, he was in the Raspberry Beret video. He was
I
one of the
fucking love that
extras.
song.
I do
I
too.
love that
Oh.
song.
That's a cover. You know, not a lot of people realize.
I mean,
that
to follow
Prince covered
Purple
a
Rain,
song.
Raspberry
was
Beret's
that,
a cover.
It's a cover. It wasn't a Prince original song.
See, the
Oh, I
thing
never
is,
knew that.
I hate that was the big single off of that album because I love the Around the World in a Day
Yeah.
album, and Raspberry Beret is not one of the better songs off of it.
That would be.
Did he try to do a movie on
right
that
there.
one too? Did he
No,
try to
that
do
was
another movie off that?
It was the next one. It was Parade, the Disney movie.
Okay.
That would be
Which
that would be a good. That would be a good BS. Our top 11 Prince songs, or make a Prince album.
Under the Cherry Moon.
Well, count me
was-
out.
I don't think I have.
Oh.
That
11.
would take some research. You'd have to give
This
me more
was
than
the
4 days.
this was the one that he this was the movie he made after Purple Rain. It was
That movie
Gotcha.
sucked. I hated
it's
it.
awful. But
That's right,
Parade
Cherry
was
Moon. Under the Cherry Moon. Yeah.
the reason I have the DVD is because it has all the music videos on it.
Oh, the album's amazing. This.
Oh yeah, Parade's one of my favorite
yeah.
Prince albums.
Why can't we do a
That's-
top 11?
Sometimes It Snows in
Prince
April's
album,
on
man.
that album. Another Lover Hole in Your Head's on
Maybe
that
I could get
album.
Vincent Cabin on there, man.
Because I only like 5 songs from
Well,
Prince.
then I make you do some homework. I'll give you a month.
Actually,
I think
maybe
I'll-
3
I think
songs.
I think I'm on vacation that day.
I might be too. Yeah.
I'll do it with you, Mark. You know I'm a huge Prince fan.
I would
mean-
do it. I
Yeah.
would do it. I have to
Come
do
on.
it. So
We need to do a Prince thing, man.
Can
Maybe
we do it?
maybe Al Horta could
I'll
come on
only
if
do-
he answers my text.
I'll only do it if we do a Nirvana top 11 next.
I'll
Well,
do
that'd be
it.
the same thing
Is
for
there
me.
a top 11 Nirvana?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I love Nirvana so.
let's do a top 11 mixed Prince Nirvana songs. We can, like,
So
maybe
Travis
find a-
will be a top 11 Nirvana. Mark and I will be a top 11
Everything
Prince.
No,
for
mix them up.
never
Mix them
mind.
up. We'll mix
We
them
could
up
do-
like
we
that.
could do-
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Prince.
Is I don't know if you combine those two artists.
No,
That's true
it
too.
would just be a
Yeah.
top
I
11
think I'm
Prince
just-
song.
Let's make
You know
let's
what?
make a
Don't-
Don't
combo
pay
album.
attention to me. I'm talking out of my ass.
Hey, wait, that's a good idea to do a combo album by 2 artists and mix it together.
That is
That is
actually-
different.
there we
That is
go.
way
Never had
different.
any of those.
It
They used to do
is.
They
I
used to
wanted
sell
to do
those
it.
all the time, where it was like a greatest hits of 2 different bands, like all
Yeah.
on
I-
CD.
I actually had an idea a long time ago to do an imaginary Styx album, but make it Dennis DeYoung's Desert Mood, Tommy's Girls with Guns, and James
Jay Wise.
City Slicker.
I
They
never
all came out
heard
around
Jay
the same.
James White
Like,
album.
Yeah,
or maybe do like a Black Sabbath with.
I
That
hate
Ozzy
I hate
solo
Desert
songs,
Moon. That
Dio
album
solo
bores the
songs.
fuck out of me. That is like
stuff
one
like
of the
stuff. No. Stuff like that would be fun to do. Not the Styx album, but like you mentioned, a mixed album kind of.
well, I wouldn't have any. I would have some Dennis DeYoung solo, but none from Desert
No,
Moon.
caveat would have to be you have to put at least 3 songs from each album on.
But you're gonna make me put Desert Moon on there. I don't like
No,
that.
I wanted to host an.
I
Eagle.
love Desert Moon. I love that song. That's a beautiful.
Never
song.
knew.
I wanted,
Desert Moon is a great song, man.
I
It
wanted
is,
to host
yeah,
an.
thank
That's
you.
the only song on there I like.
Show.
That's why
I
I
thought you
bought
said you
the
hated that
album.
song.
Yeah,
I
No,
think
I
it is
like
that
that
song.
song. I don't like the album.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
but no, we'll definitely have to do a Prince one, Mark. I'd love it. I've not gotten a chance to
Ooh.
talk much about Prince, like on a
You know,
full episode.
I
Yeah.
gotta do. I'm the
And-
host. I have to do it, but so I'll do it. I guess.
Are
Jerry, what I'll say is, I think that if you
Can
if
I do
you
the same
deep dive
song?
a little bit, no, if you deep dive a little more, I think that there's some stuff that I think, like knowing your music taste, I think there's some stuff you'll find that you
Joseph, I
probably
did.
haven't heard before. Oh, have
My
you?
sister Amy is a huge Prince
Come
fan.
on,
I've heard
Jerry,
them
you're
all.
a sexy motherfucker.
I do like
That
Purple
song
Rain. I
should be
do
yours
like
right there.
Diamonds and Pearls. Is it the one with
That's-
Get
yeah.
Off and all that on it? I
Yeah.
do like that
Cream.
album.
Yeah.
Other than
25
that,
positions in a one night stand.
I don't. It would be a
It
tough.
don't matter
I think he's a
too
great
much.
guitar player. I love watching him fucking play guitar. He's
Come
a
on,
great
let's start some
guitar
controversy.
There's a lot of good albums, man. There's a lot
Yeah.
of good albums to appreciate, and a lot of
love
good
this
songs.
guy.
If not
And I
maybe
do-
full good albums, but songs to appreciate. Oh,
And I've
I don't
always
think he's
loved his
that
percussion.
dated compared to all everything
I
we
love-
listen to.
I love how the percussion he uses though. I think
Yeah,
it's
he
really
has-
cool sounding.
I love the soundscape that he has on a lot of his
Yeah.
albums. It's
But man,
it's uniquely
Christ.
Prince.
I just can only take him as small. I mean, small.
That's
doses.
fair. Like I get that. There's artists that I'm the same way with.
I mean, to say that he sucks, no, I'm not going to say that. I just
Yeah,
not
we
a
need to
fan
get
his
out of
music.
our rock and metal hard rock genre and like let's do some other fucking like.
We did a Taylor Swift album, so why not, man?
Well, that was kind of forced on me by our former co-host.
Yeah.
So
I just for me it's just one of the reasons I can listen to Prince, I can handle more Prince, is because there's so many different genres that he kind of gets into. So like if I'm
absolutely,
it's not like where it's like there's some artists that it's like so repetitive for like what they make, And there's artists that I love that about, like AC/DC. I absolutely adore AC/DC. They have a lot of similar sounding music. Motorhead, same way. But then there's artists that like almost everything they make sounds the same, and I can't. Nirvana is a huge example of that. That like I can only take Nirvana in very small doses. But for me, Prince, what I love about Prince is I can go in and say, okay, today I'm feeling, if I want to get like a funkier Prince or like a heavier Prince song, I can go with what I brought up on the 1989 show, Electric Chair off the Batman soundtrack. Great, heavy, funky song. Or I can go some like ballad, or I can go with some like a pure pop song, or something like Purple Rain that's just like this epic track. And that's what I love so much about Prince, is that I can just get into all of these different modes depending on what I'm feeling that day. He's one of the few artists that really kind of covers so much musical territory in his discography that I can just really, I never get tired of.
He wrote
One
so many
genre
songs,
we've
man.
never covered a lot on this at all, I think, is country. And me and my buddy,
I do
me and
that.
my buddy Jeremy, I'm gonna have him on the show actually. But him and I grew up playing guitar, and me and him are now like completely into Chris Stapleton songs right now. Like just like learning them, and they're so fucking good.
He's
I,
more
I have a
Southern
lot of
rock,
respect.
though.
I have a lot of
Yeah.
respect for Chris Stapleton.
He could play. See, the thing is with country, I'd only have to go with like outlaw country. I don't really like country.
No, that's country. That's
I don't
country.
like
country.
Garth Brooks. I'm sorry, Joseph. I know you
Yeah,
like.
I'm a big Garth guy.
Oh.
That's mine. That's mine.
Yeah, that's
I'm a big
yours.
Garth
I
guy.
love Garth Brooks.
I'd agree with Mark. I'd have to go with Mark on the country thing. I don't new country. I don't know. There's a few.
Oh, I'm
artists I
not a
like.
huge country guy at all. Just Garth is my thing. That's like,
I love
Well,
I like the.
well,
I like
I'm
the
not.
country.
Go
I
ahead.
do love "And the Thunder Rolled." That's a great song.
I love Garth. I love Willie
Well,
Nelson.
new country, like new country, like some of the newer stuff to hear on the GMAs and stuff like that. That ain't fucking country.
That's
I'm
bro country.
I'm all outlaw country. I'm like Waylon. I'm like
There.
Cash.
Yeah.
Me too.
You know,
I love
I'm
I
like
love the
that's
old
my
stuff.
that's my country. And then when people
Yeah.
come up
Yeah.
like Hank
Hank the
three,
Third.
Don't forget about
yeah,
Willie.
he didn't do his punk stuff, but he does his country stuff. It's amazing.
Mhm.
And Chris Stapleton is more of a R&B country guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you listen to him, it's not, he does these like runs with his vocals that are like, wow, okay, that's soul. That's
Yeah.
R&B. That's
He's
soul.
definitely
That's,
a more of a throwback with like his
and
style
he
of
is,
music.
and
And I
he
love that
is,
about
and,
him.
and I'm learning the guitar parts and everything I'm learning. I'm just like, God, this isn't contemporary country, man. This isn't G G G C C C D D D E E E B B B. You know, it's like, holy smokes, man. He's like running the neck with these diminished chords, and I'm like, wow, okay, this isn't going to be as easy as I thought to learn.
The one thing I do really appreciate about like especially classic country music, and this is the one thing I love about that Garth was one of the few guys in like the 90s to really embrace the older kind of sound of country, because he always talks about growing up on like George Jones, Merle Haggard, that kind of stuff.
I agree.
And
I agree.
he really embraces the authentic like texture of the instruments. Like there's not a lot of other artists post like early 80s that were really using like that, really like the depth and texture of instruments that he was using. And that's what I love about people like Chris Stapleton, is also really using a lot of that depth and texture of instrumentals, that like it's not just like a couple guitars and bass and drums. And I think is where a lot of country music has gone by the wayside, where it doesn't differentiate itself enough from other genres of music anymore. It's
And
just
that's why some have stayed and some have gone.
yeah. It's
That's
now
exactly why.
country music is just a basic acoustic rock band
It's
with
more like,
somebody singing really crappy lyrics about their truck.
like I call it douche country music.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just some of these guys like Morgan Wallen. I can't stand that guy. Who's that butthole that does American Idol? I can't stand that fucking guy either.
What about
Is it Luke Bryan? Is
Luke
that his
Bryan.
name? I
Yeah.
can't stand that fucking
Lock
guy.
them doors and turtle
I
lash
think-
off?
I think Carrie Underwood's got a great voice, but her music
Yeah.
just fucking gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
Because she got into production machine, man. She's gone into the production machine.
Shania Twain is boring to me.
Who's the big dude?
Whoa. Okay.
You just like her because she's sexy.
Who's
No,
the
I
big
like
dude?
her.
Who's the
Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll? Can't stand that fucking
I
guy.
like,
he can sing too.
I
He can
love his
sing too,
voice.
but-
I love
yeah,
his voice, but his
music
songs
is terrible.
because
The best-
he's a rapper that started playing
Yeah.
country music.
The best
I-
country female artist that I have seen live. I took my first wife to see her, Martina McBride.
Oh, she's great. I
Martina's
love
she's
Martina.
amazing.
beautiful woman. Yeah.
She did
She has a
Journey
great
Don't
voice.
Stop
Yeah, she
Believing
does.
in concert. She's really great. She's beautiful.
See, that's the thing is, honestly, in the modern day, I'll listen to females doing country music a lot more than I'd listen to males doing country music because I think there's a
Then
lot.
we
of
should all
really-
go back to Gretchen Wilson.
Gretchen
She
I
Wilson.
like Gretchen.
overlooked.
Gretchen's a
Gretchen
cool
Wilson.
chick.
Don't
she's
forget
good.
about-
She's good. She's good.
Laney Wilson, that's current.
Lainey
Oh,
Wilson
man.
she was on the
a
last
great-
Black
Ooh.
Crowes album.
Don't-
Really good.
We
That
forgot
ass.
to mention. We forgot to
That
mention.
ass. Oh,
We
man.
forgot to mention Willie.
Sorry, I don't mean to be a sexist.
But yeah, no,
Lady,
I think
Lady, you
women,
are gifted in the behind
Yeah.
area.
I think, and she's actually she's just got engaged to one of the old Steelers backup quarterbacks,
Oh, really? What?
Duck
Mr.
Hodges.
Trubisky?
No, Duck
Merrill
Hodges.
Merrill Hodges?
No,
Oh.
not Merrill Hodges.
Merrill
like
Hodge
Duck.
is a
Duck
tight end,
Hodges.
wasn't he? Merrill
Oh,
Hodge was a tight end,
no,
wasn't
he
he?
was a
Yeah, he was-
quarterback, I thought. Oh, he wasn't
No.
tight end?
No, he's
Oh,
yeah,
from
I-
years
I
and
don't-
years
Well,
ago.
Yeah,
Well,
tight
what do you
end.
think about? What do you think
Whatever.
about
No, it was
Jason?
she's engaged to one of the two guys that was playing the year that Ben got hurt a couple years ago when it was like the Steelers still had a winning record with like two backup quarterbacks.
All right.
One of
Oh,
them
yeah,
is
Merrill
who
Hodge.
she's
Yeah, Merrill Hodge was actually an analyst a long time ago.
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
no, but
Okay.
no, but honestly, I think women are really what's carrying country music right now.
Sure.
I agree with you. I'm glad Taylor Swift got out of it because she wasn't
Yeah.
country.
And
But,
Shania, I mean,
hey,
people
I-
make fun of Shania, but Shania did a lot for country too.
Oh, she-
even though she's more pop
she
now,
did.
but
yeah,
She
you
does.
you
She
could
really-
you could thank fucking Mutt Lang for her
Sure.
sound. She
You can
wasn't
thank-
big until Mutt Lang took over.
you can
her
thank Mutt
production.
Lang for everybody he touches turns fucking people
Yes.
into stars.
And
He's
after
what got-
after Mutt
Bryan
Lang,
Adams.
her albums
He's
didn't
what
really
blew
do it.
AC/DC up. He's what got Def Leppard popular. He's what
Bryan
got Bryan
Adams.
Adams popular.
Yeah.
Well, the Cars too. Heartbeat
The Cars,
City.
Cars.
Yeah.
Well, the
I mean,
cars
the
were
cars
already
the cars were
popular.
big before him.
I want
Yeah,
him
but
to
Heartbeat
produce
City,
my
I think,
album.
was their
damn it.
biggest album.
It was a big research. What would you say? What did you say, Jerry?
I want him to produce my album, man.
I know.
Fuck.
I
I heard he's a hard ass in the studio.
He is.
Just
I was watching
perfection.
years ago. Like
He is a taskmaster whip.
Yes.
Whip.
Well, also didn't he was like abusive to Shania Twain because they were
Yeah.
married. Like he's the reason that she was like retired for a couple of years because like
Yeah.
he was like it was bad.
He's
Isn't that
producing
weird how that
Tommy.
works?
He produced Tommy Hendrix's group.
He-
Tommy
he's
Hendrix's new group. He came out of
That's why
retirement.
he's no. That's why
She's
he's no
dating.
longer around.
Wait, how's that going out? He's going out with her friend or something,
I'm
or
not sure.
and she's dating his friend or some shit like that. It's weird
I don't know.
how that worked out.
Hey, I heard some scoop on Decibel Geek. You know who's coming out with a new album in March?
Ooh,
Love Hate.
Ooh,
awesome.
that'll be good.
Cool.
Yeah,
I
you
might-
can
I might-
pre-order it. It's coming
I
out,
like it.
and they played a song to end their last show, and it's fucking really good. I love me some Dizzy. man.
Wait. They're Jizzy's
Dizzy?
back with them.
Jizzy's doing it. Yeah, Jizzy, not Dizzy.
There-
Jizzy.
Jizz in my,
So he
jizz
quit
in my
Quiet
throat.
Riot. He's not Quiet Riot anymore.
No,
he's
he's
still
still
doing
quiet.
quite right, but he did Love Hate.
Okay,
He's got a
cool.
new album coming out with
Cool.
Love Hate. Pre-order.
I had
it, man.
I had the greatest hits album.
I just saw an interview. Like Styx was just on one of they had a cruise or something like that, and they were talking about the new album that they're gonna be putting out soon. So
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm
I
excited
can't
for
wait.
that.
I need to see some more.
There should be some
Styx.
good.
I'm
There's
not-
some good albums.
I'm
coming
not
out this year.
excited anymore about a Styx album, but hopefully it'll be good.
It sounds
Well,
like they
well,
have a more cohesive vision for it this time, which
Okay.
gets me a little excited.
Well, hey,
'Cause
I,
if it's the same people, because if it's Tommy and Will leading the charge and they have a cohesive vision for it, I have hopes that it could be more like the Mission.
yeah. Hey, I got a scoop because I was bitching about Kevin Cronin. He was on Eddie Trunk and he explained what really happened. And I believe him. I believe him that freaking Bruce hurt his back and he was trying to get him back on tour and he said, dude, your back, he saw the x-rays. You need to take a year off. So they agreed for him to take a year off. He'd still get paid like Bunny Carlos. So he'd be still getting his share. And then it's just he's not coming back, and they totally like melted with the new bass player that came in. And they were really good together. And he goes, "Well, I just want to keep going, Bruce. If you're not going to come back in, let's do it." And he was outvoted by Dot, Neil, and Bruce to keep the
Neil
name
Dowdy.
to keep the name REO Speedwagon. And he goes, "They just shot themselves in the foot because I had to go out as the Kevin Cronin band." and they would have still made money, their share, from me going out as Aria Speedwagon, but they wouldn't let me. How fucked up is that? They shot themselves in the foot. They
did. I
can
mean,
make money and not tour.
I get it. Like on their end, I get it that like it's kind of like it's not REO Speedwagon though. Like I get it that Amato and Hit have both been in the band since '89, and of course Kevin Cronen's Kevin Cronin. But I mean,
Come on.
It's not REO
Who had posters of the other band members up on their wall? Nobody.
I didn't have posters of Kevin.
Nobody's gonna fucking.
I had Gary Richrath on my wall, dude.
Yeah, but like people know who Bruce Hall is because he sings one of the songs.
Nobody did.
I'll send you a picture later.
That's why
I will send you a picture later.
That's why Foreigner can tour as a nameless, non-original band. Because nobody knew what Foreigner fucking looked like.
I did.
Not the no.
Yeah, but you're Mark. They're like
no. You know who I knew it looked like?
I know
what
Pete
the
Wills.
guitar player and the singer looked like. Other than that, I couldn't give a shit.
And you know what the biggest travesty is? I know a lot of people probably aren't Little River Band.
I know Dennis Elliott. I knew Pete Wills.
The contract situation with Little River Band is
ridiculous. Oh, that's a great fucking story, man.
It's
crazy.
It's a must read. Yeah.
And
the fact that their American bass player that came in
Loser, like man, it's one of my favorite songs ever.
Has the rights to the band when he was like, and the original guys were trying to go out, and it was crazy. Like
it was the manager's. It was Glenn Williams' fault. The manager, he didn't let them know anything. Or
okay, what band are we talking about?
Little River Band.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know nothing about.
I'm telling you, man. If you ever want to hear fucking what to watch, what you sign and don't sign in music, follow that story.
So, like Mark, just like Cliff Notes it. They were an Australian like super kind of group.
I know who they are. He sent me the greatest hits. I love.
But what I was gonna say, like to get to where the story goes. So they were all Australian. And then in '81, I think they brought in this American bass player. He's the one who sang the Night Owls. He sang a couple other songs.
Take It Easy on Me, kind of
Take It Easy on Me. But like the rest of them were still all original Australian. But by like what was it, like the '90s, I guess, was when this whole thing really blew up.
Actually, Glenn Sharrock left in '98, or Derek Cleese left in '98. He was the last guy to have the original guy with the rights. Yeah.
So like late '90s, the final original guy leaves, and then like early 2000s or something, all the original guys wanted to get back together and do like I think it was actually like a charity show. They wanted to do a charity show, and they went to get it all together legally, and they found out that none of them had the rights to the name anymore. Yeah. And it was the American bass player that joined in '81 that has the rights to the name.
Well, him and Stephen Housden both had the rights to that.
Yeah. But so now literally the entire original band cannot tour as the Little River Band.
Right.
And they
can't even tour in America.
They can't even tour in America. Yeah. So like it's crazy, like the legality of all of it. And like if you read some of the backstories, like they got screwed out of a lot of their rights.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
That's but if you want to see a great concert, the Berto, Shorrock, and Goebel concert they did, the three guys from Little River Band. If you ever get a chance to watch that concert, it's amazing.
I love Reminiscing.
Well, that's a great song. They have so many good songs.
Yeah, I love that. You know what, Travis, you look like Knight Rider. You just need a burger. You look like Hasselhoff laying down.
I think I see a Zeppelin poster
right there.
Jerry, I don't know what you're saying.
This is my impersonation of Rick Rubin.
Okay,
there you go. What were we gonna say, Joseph?
I would say I don't know if you saw what I put in the chat a couple days ago, but this Friday I'm going to see a Led Zeppelin cover band.
Oh, which one?
Get the Lead Out.
I saw they have one that got Led Zeppelin again here that plays. I see that every now and then.
I've heard a ton of good things about Get the Loud. They actually mainly play deep cuts.
Oh, nice.
So I think I saw their most recent set list. They were playing Royal Orleans, which is nuts.
Wow.
Oh, I love that song.
Like that deep. They're playing like that deep.
I love that song.
That's definitely a song I don't think they've ever done live. Zeppelin never did that.
Oh gosh.
There's one called Zepparella.
Let me pull up what their set list is later.
Is that the Lesbian Zeppelin gang?
Maybe
tour. I mean, yeah, they're good actually.
I saw Jason.
No, it's Les
Zeppelin.
Right.
So here's the set list for the band that I'm going to be seeing this Friday. Good Times, Bad Times, Wanton Song, Dancing Days, Jamaica, No Quarter, Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You, Ramble On, Nobody's Fault But Mine, and then they do a little acoustic set with Going to California, Tangerine, Brawny R. Stomp. Then they have an intermission, come back with In the Light, Moby Dick, Thank You, Bring It On Home, Royal Orleans, Cashmere, and then the encore is When the Levee Breaks, Stairway to Heaven, Whole Lot of Love.
Thank God they're not
man.
playing the crunch.
Oh man,
sounds
that would
amazing.
rule.
I saw Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin experience.
I wanted to see this Pink Floyd band called
Wow.
Which One Is Pink? They always tour around
Oh,
here.
Brit Floyd.
Britt Floyd, I want to see them. So
Have you ever
bad.
heard
I'm
of Which
seeing-
One Was Pink? I heard they're really good.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing this Led Zeppelin band on Friday, and then on Saturday night I'm seeing a Chicago cover band.
I'm also I have tickets to see the Fab Four. You ever heard of them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Beatles,
heard they're really
obviously.
good. Yeah, really good.
They have a band called Abbey Road that tours here a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, I got one last
The
thing.
drummer sings all the songs. It's kind of weird, actually.
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
I got one last thing to take us out, and I think this band has made phenomenal albums the last few years, and nobody really talks about them. I love their last album, 10. Buck Cherry's Josh Todd believes it's still possible for new rock bands to make their mark if you got the great songs. You're gonna find an audience. What do you
No,
think
because
about
they don't have the backing of every management, the radio, everything.
But
Not the
if
backing.
you, but the thing is, you could use streaming and get a song.
Yeah,
out
but
there
you don't have the
TikTok.
back. It's the touring. That's the issue. That's the issue. You can get songs out there and get a decent kind of backing, but the touring is where a lot of these bands fall apart. Some of the best bands I've seen recently are bands that I've seen in little clubs that are opening up for bigger like bands. Like when I saw Raven last year in a little club, there was like maybe 50 people there. The two opening bands, other than Vicious Rumors, which is a big band from the 80s, the two opening bands that were younger were really good. And I had never heard of them before and never seen them before. My friend had seen one of the bands opening up for, I think it was Ailstorm, not Hailstorm, Ailstorm. They're a pirate metal band. They're a pirate metal band. But
I know who they are.
So a lot of these newer bands that I've seen that I've been really impressed by. People like Wild Ride, Mick Watkins' band, Wild Ride, playing these small clubs. I mean, they're opening for a Guns N' Roses cover band.
Yeah, I mean, they're never going to come to the West Coast because
that's like
they can't afford it. There's no money.
They can't afford it. There's no money in it. Like
all these bands from Britain, there's some great bands in Britain. They can't afford to come over here and tour.
What's that band? What's that band we reviewed, Jerry, from Ireland or Scotland?
Oh, Florence Black.
Florence Black is really good.
Yeah. Unless you're a band like Night Demon that gets big traction. And you get taken out by Yngwie you go out with like other big bands, like they take you out on tour, and that's how Night Demon got to go overseas. They do a European tour with other bigger bands.
I need to listen to more Night Demon. He gave me their first album. I need to listen to them.
There's this great band. There's this great band called Gunshine, man. A fucking great rock and roll band. They don't get no publicity whatsoever.
They're all over my Facebook post. They're always releasing.
What was the one band I saw them a couple years ago at M3? They're all girls. It was a younger band. They're all female.
The Warning?
Heavy band.
Baby Metal.
Oh, Baby Metal sucks.
I'm just joking with you.
There's this band called The Reality of Yourself that's out too. They're a great fucking band called Troy.
Honestly, I heard a Baby Metal song and I actually thought it wasn't half bad.
Oh, Travis, you could go now.
Burning Witches, that's who they were.
Burning Witches is really fucking good.
I
love that band.
And literally, and here's the thing: they're this like really heavy, great band, and they got their first ever U.S. tour, and they're opening up an '80s hair metal festival.
They're definitely not.
That's the kind of market that like is going on here. That's the only way they can come over to America, and of course, and now like they're getting a little bit more traction because now Courtney Cox from
Iron Maidens.
Courtney from the Iron Maidens is touring with she's in the band now. So like you have these great bands that like you can go on YouTube and they're making good numbers, but it's touring. You're not going to get a wider reach because of touring, because especially if you're not from America, you can't come over here, and you can't if you're from America. Most of them can't pay to go overseas.
What sucks is all these small clubs that was catering to these newer bands are closing because of COVID.
Yep. That's the sad part.
There was this great place in Pasadena called The Rose that me and Vincent Kavanaugh went to a couple times. Like, and we saw Jeff Tate there. We saw a lot of good bands. We saw Ace there. And the thing is, they closed right after COVID, man.
Yeah.
And then I got another club down here in Montclair, the Canyon Club, just closed too because the freaking mall, which gets no fucking foot traffic except for that club, closed
Yeah.
because they raised their lease.
Hey,
the thing
Mooger,
is, the
is
good news
Tuck
is over.
Smith
What
is
were you
Tuck
saying?
Smith playing East Side Bull?
Yes,
Is that where he's playing, Mooger?
yes, I think so.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He's
That's a cool
See,
place.
the
You gotta
good
love that
thing
place,
over-
Travis. It's
over
pretty
here
cool.
on the east
you
coast, there's
motherfuckers
some.
need to get them on Freeform to do a fucking bumper or a fucking episode. I love Tuck Smith.
There's
That album was really good. I like that one.
Yeah, it was.
over here on the East Coast, the clubs aren't closing as much from COVID. Like there's still a lot of really good clubs over here, especially like I go down to Baltimore quite a bit to see shows. That's where I saw Raven last year. I'm going down there hopefully the week after next to go see Coroner. They're on their 40th
yeah.
anniversary tour. They're in the same place I saw Raven, so it's like a 50, 100 people in this little club. I'm going down there in April to see Anvil. They're going to be down there,
Ooh.
but they amongst all like they every now and then they'll pull like an 80s band out that doesn't play big places, but then it's all local bands, it's all smaller time bands because it's a little bar that maybe 50 100 people
Yeah.
can fit in. It's
Is
not like
Driving and
Baltimore.
Crying still around?
We have a place like that. It's changed name like 10 times in the last 5
Mhm.
years, but they still try to get live music in these bands, not
Is-
huge bands, but small time bands in
Is
there. It's
Driving
pretty
and Crying still around? Or are they
I'm
cool. I
dead?
think they are actually.
Wait,
think they
Mark,
are.
you don't like Anvil?
No.
I'm with it. I don't really care. I'm not a bit. I like a couple of their songs.
I'm excited
but
to
I'm
see
not-
them live.
I like- I like
I
them
like that. I
I
love
like
that
the
line.
Anvil
I like
featuring
I like their
Anvil,
heart and
a
their
documentary they
persistence.
did.
I like the way they keep going, even though nobody
Yeah.
cares about them. But they keep
I love.
going.
Oh,
I
love
like that.
Say that.
Metal on
Oh,
metal.
man,
is a
Nobody
great
cares
album.
about them, dude. Come on, just be
Did
real.
you see the Anvil featuring
dude.
Anvil?
Yes, that's what I said.
There's like
I
10
got,
people in the club. There's
I
like
got
10
Yeah.
people in the
respect for
club.
them. I got respect
that's
because
sad.
they
So
don't
It's
that's like
sad.
they
so
don't
that's the
quit.
sad thing is like this
And
place
they got paid with goulash.
the,
Oh, I
this
love
little
Anvil.
place,
They're
this
killer,
tiny little
man.
place. I think there was probably
Yeah.
like maybe 50 people there last year when I went and saw Raven.
Yeah.
And this is Raven.
Raven's a lot better.
But this
Raven's
is
a
the
lot
thing
better.
is
Come
it's
on.
Raven. This is a band that
But it's
Metallica used to
Raven.
open for.
That's why there was 50 people there. It's Raven.
I like Raven.
But that's
I
the
like
thing is it's
both
like this
I
is
bands.
do
crazy.
not
that
like Raven.
this is a band in the
don't.
80s that was big that Metallica opened for, like when they were
Yeah.
coming up in the clubs. And now they're playing in front of 50 people. But the
Well,
best thing
Raven
is,
wouldn't have put on the stupid helmets and looked like stupid fucking idiots on the records.
but
They
here's
might
the
have
thing
gone
though.
farther.
Here's the thing though. No matter what you want to say about them, they're playing their hearts out in front of those 50 people. It was one
Fuck
of the
yeah,
best.
they are.
It was one of
Fuck
the best
yeah.
shows I've ever been to. They were
Nice.
amazing. They
What's
just
that band with the owls on the cover?
Riot.
Yeah, they
Oh,
they killed
Riot's
themselves
awesome.
with those album covers. I'm just
It's
gonna
not. It wasn't an owl. It was a seal.
or whatever it was.
The Mighty
I
Seal.
love bands that play their hearts out in front of 50 people like they're in front of 50,000.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
why
them.
I
Yeah, because
said
it-
I
it
got
caught me
respect
so off
for-
guard. It caught me so off guard with Raven a couple years ago because like a couple years ago they were like I saw this ad on Facebook for this bar like 40 minutes away from me in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't even in the city. It was in the middle of nowhere, and they were advertising Raven. I'm like, what? Like in the middle of nowhere, like backwoods Pennsylvania. Raven, this British band, is just coming over and playing backwoods Pennsylvania at this little bar in the middle of nowhere. I'm just like, that's crazy. And I was busy the day I was going to go, but thankfully I got to see them eventually last year, and they were phenomenal. But I love being able to go to these little bars and see bands like that because it's a different experience that like for someone like me who didn't come up in the 70s and 80s and get to see bands. I mean, people that got to see Guns N' Roses in these little bars or that got to see all these big bands as they were coming up. Now, as some of these bands are coming back down, getting to see them in these little locations. And like when I saw Striper in November at, it was bigger than it was a decent amount bigger. It was probably 1,000 people there, but it was a smaller place. And it's those are the kind of venues that I love going to.
Yeah,
Not
me
like
too.
it's like kind of nameless, faceless stadium.
That's
where
why I'm
it's just
so
a band.
pissed off Montclair and the Rose closed, man.
Yeah, like it like I appreciate going to stadium shows because some of the best shows you're going to see are going to a stadium. Like I just said, when I saw Green Day last year, going to a stadium, seeing this big show, it's a cool experience. But like to really get like a feel for these bands, going to these smaller clubs, seeing some of the shows I've seen, like I've told the story before about when I saw a couple of years ago when I saw Kicks in a fire hall. Like they were literally playing in a fire hall where there was old ladies serving chicken tenders. Like
Hey,
that
I'm
was the
there.
experience, and it was amazing. It was the best time I ever saw Kicks because it was a local crowd. They were playing like half an hour away from their hometown, and they played a bunch of deep cuts because they knew it was a local crowd. They knew everybody there. Heck, they probably had family in the crowd. Like that
Right.
was like the kind of show it was. And
And
so
chicken
like
tenders.
it was, and
Chicken
chicken tenders.
tenders, yeah,
Like
fucking
this
is.
is the
Yeah.
this is the kind of show. This is the kind of place it was. My family. I went with my parents. We won the 50-50 raffle at the show. Like this is the kind of, that was what we're talking about here. Like it was they had a 50-50 raffle and they were selling like 13 jars, like strip tickets and stuff. Like it was that. And it was 2021 seeing Kicks. But that's like those are the kind of experiences that it's just like when you see a band in that environment, it's just like you hear like when I mean Ralph and Ian talked about it recently on the Rock and Metal Combat podcast of like just like not wanting to go to shows anymore because it's so like sanitized and you go to these big places and you pay exorbitant amounts to go see a band that like 30 years ago you paid $20 to go see, and it's just that those kind of shows are what keep me wanting to go and see bands live is just these little shows where a
Yeah.
band's having fun, whether it's a band that was big at one point or a band that wasn't big, or it's just a band that maybe me and my 5 friends know about. Like that's what matters to me. And so like when the guy from Buckcherry talks about like these bands, well, you can still make it, you can still make it. No, you can't.
I think you
But
can.
the thing is,
I don't think so.
you can't. And it doesn't matter though. But like the people that are going to go see you are going to go see you. So put your heart out for those people. Like the people that are going to go and see your band
And I,
are the people that are going to go see
but
your
the
band.
thing
I
is
don't
that-
think. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
But the thing is, Decibel Geek and podcasts like us, we talk about new music. We talk about new bands. We are the new DJs. Listen to us. We will.
I mean, yeah. There's
we'll
but
show
the
you.
thing is, there's it. I doubt there's ever going to be a band that's going to break big because of that, though.
I think there will be. We just gotta. These people are getting tired of this. Hip hop is like doing what hair metal did, going in a circle. Pop is going in a circle. There's nothing new coming out. There's nothing new.
Music has gotten to the point where people aren't looking for something new. They're just looking to music.
Seriously,
that's all
dude,
they
I found
the attention span of the younger generation
I found
is not like there's people like I said I see all the time. There's kids when I go and teach that there's kids that are walking around. I see a kid walking around every day with like there's a kid that walks around with an obituary shirt on, or like walking around. I saw a kid last week like had a Frank Zappa sticker on his iPad. Like that like those are the kind of kids like yeah, they're going to get what we're talking about, but more than not, like there's not a lot of people in this new generation that are going to be like seeking that out, and it's unfortunate.
Let me pause here just a minute. Travi.
Yes.
What's your age, buddy?
32.
Okay.
But can I say
Joseph.
something? Because when I
just turned 26.
Joseph.
I'm 26.
Yeah, look what you listen to, man.
Yeah, but like
I
know that Travis and I are in the minority, in a huge
You're
minority.
not in the minority. You're not. I work with kids your age.
I honestly,
you're not in the minority, guys. I work at a big place that hires a lot of kids.
How I got into rock and roll, I had a choice of either listening to my sister's gangster rap and boy band music, or I could see what my dad had in his CD collection.
I go to a lot of concerts, man. I see a lot of people with the same hair color as I got, man.
No, Jerry, I see a lot of kids, man. I go to Def Leppard show. There's a lot of fucking kids there,
or lack of.
Look at this hair color.
I was gonna say or lack of. Yeah,
I'm just gonna say,
Mark. Here's what I'll say, and like this, being someone who's in a school, like 5 days a week in a school as a teacher, these kids, a lot of them are not even seeking out music for its sake. Like they're not seeking out music. They're just like it's background noise to a lot of these kids, and it's unfortunate.
I hate that.
Like the thing is, when I get new people coming into my location, like cashiers, basically, the first thing I ask them is, "What kind of music do you like?" And I said, "Don't tell me everything because you're lying. I want to know specific bands. I want to know stuff you listen." And the one guy goes, "I know everything." I kind of like everything. I'll go, "Really? You like death metal?" He goes, "No, I can't stand a lot of that Cookie Monsters." I go, "Cookie." So what is your favorite band? He's 29 years old, and he came out and said Rush. And I go, "What the fuck, dude?" And then my lead goes, "You just Mark is going to talk about Rush the whole time with you now.
Well,
And
he's wrong.
Here's
That
another
kid
thing,
is
Mark.
wrong, but I'm glad that he mentioned a band.
Dude,
Here's another thing, Mark.
Hey.
Look at all these rock podcasts. They're all people our age.
but dude, we got Joseph Staub, 26. We got
he's on our show as a
Travis
guest.
had-
Yes, they're out there, but it's
Honestly,
until
I
I got a
have-
chick at work who's 25 and loves System of a Down.
my
Hey,
daughter's the
I
same
Mark,
have
way.
a-
it's
35,
fighting. It's
motherfuckers.
unfortunately
I'm
that it's fighting a
35.
losing battle.
Well,
It
that's
is,
good to know
exactly.
because my employee plays nothing but K-pop.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well,
Like,
I got a lot of people at work
It's
that like
torture.
K-pop, and I go, I don't know about you guys.
I
know.
think that's the worst genre of music.
When-
Oh,
ever.
that
it's worse
when
than
I
Backstreet
tell you-
Boys shit.
Here's the thing: is I don't care what genre of music a person likes if they are into music,
yes, I
and
agree
that's
with
what
that.
I say. And the unfortunate thing is, every year there's less and less people coming up in these generations that are truly into music,
But
and that's what I'm saying.
I'm
is that
getting
there's-
18-year-old kids also that like
Yeah,
metal.
but like that's awesome that you're seeing these kids. But like when I'm seeing large groups of kids, and like I'm seeing like 60 kids every day, like that I'm personally dealing with that are all in high school age, and most of them it's a background noise. And you
I
look
tell you
back
what,
at previous generations where
Joseph,
everyone
what
was
are-
into music.
What if they're not into music? What are they into? I mean, what?
Not a lot, and that's
Gaming?
what's unfortunate.
They're into
People
gaming.
play
A lot
video
of them are
games.
gamers. Yeah, I
A
get
lot of
that.
it, social media, and that's a
Social
big
media?
thing.
We need to
They-
bring
they-
Guitar
Are
Hero
they
back.
all influencers? Are they influencers?
Influencers.
Are
They like to.
influencers?
I'm
God
sure they
damn it.
like to think that they are.
If
Well,
I had a nice rack and I was
and
female, I'd probably
Here's the
You
thing,
know what
and
we
this
need?
is this
We
is
need
this is a this
Guitar
is a
Hero
sad
back.
statement about like larger society. These generations growing up, they're not passionate about a lot. There's not a lot
No.
of things that they're passionate
Well,
about,
because
and
there's so much around
exactly.
them.
It's and the society that they're growing up in. The
Yeah.
kids that I'm dealing with right now in high school are the kids that were at a very like formative age during COVID. These are the kids that were in like
Right.
middle school, like low to like probably like 5th to 8th grade during COVID.
They
And
don't
that is a
even
very-
remember 9/11. 9/11 is ancient history to them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know-
I was in a history class last year for the 24th or the 23rd anniversary of 9/11. Like the teacher had a program set up for 9/11, and these kids, half of them didn't know what 9/11 was, and I'm just like, what? Like it's
Well,
crazy.
You
But, like,
know,
that- the thing is,
you were
like-
only like in the single digits, dude.
Yeah, I was 2 when 9/11 happened. But
Oh
like,
my god! Holy shit!
I at least know, like I have a context for 9/11. These kids don't. Like they just don't.
You were 2?
Yeah.
I was 30.
you know, a couple years
Fucking
ago,
shit!
a couple years ago on the Rock and Metal Combat podcast, Ian said
Here's for that.
that
I love you, Joe.
a couple of years ago, Ian said on the Rock and Metal Combat podcast that this would be the first generation of kids who don't know who the Beatles are.
That's not happening now because
And,
the Beatles
well,
just came
actually,
back.
it did happen because I ran across 2 people that worked for me, and even if you're not a rock fan, you got to know who the Beatles are. And I asked them, "Do you know who the Beatles are?" And they just shook their head at me. I'm
You know
like,
what, Travis?
"Are you
Here's the one thing. Here's the one
Travis.
thing I will say. I was in last year I substituted for like a 7th and 8th grade music teacher, and that my school district, they are actually teaching them the Beatles. Like that is a thing that they are teaching
Thank
them
God.
in their
Can I
class.
just say something, Travis? As
Yeah.
a generation who likes the Beatles, it's our job to show them the Beatles, the Stones, and Led Zeppelin. That's what I do at work. I said, "Have you heard of this band?" They go, "No." I play it for them, and they look at me and go, "That's really good." I go, "Is that better than Cardi B?" And they go, "Yeah." So,
I did that for my employee once when we were closing together. I said, "Do you know who Black Sabbath is?" And I played War Pigs, and they're like, "Oh, I know that. It's from a movie." And I played the whole song, and they really dug it. So
yeah,
That-
this is why we do podcasts. This is why we do shows. We want to
Okay.
get people into music that we
Thi-
like.
This is how I know. Going goddamn forward, if people don't even know what 9/11 is,
Yeah, I agree.
that I need to show them what Black Sabbath, Beatles, Kiss, early
Stones.
Kiss. I mean, I just need to show them, hey man, it's not all Taylor Swift and Dua Lipa and all of the stuff, which I love, by the way.
Dua Lipa.
Loopy.
That's what they're around though. That's the only thing they don't. That's the only thing.
That's what
that
our
goes
job
in
is
their
for.
heads.
You guys work
Did I
with these
did
young
I
kids.
say that
I
wrong?
do that.
Was it
No,
Dua
Lipa.
Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa.
I think he said
Dua
Lipa.
Lipa.
I
hot.
love
She's
her
hot,
stuff.
though.
I love her stuff.
She's
But
hot.
She is.
oh yeah, she's
But
fucking
here,
hot.
the thing
But,
is, and it's
send
unfortunate.
in this
is, like,
book.
the
I
music.
think that how are we? I think podcast is what all the kids listen to,
Yes.
and we need to draw them in and say, "Hey, this is the Beatles. This is Sabbath. This is." You got to remember where all your little pop music came from because it came from this, and producer teams are what turned Taylor Swift's beautiful songs into shit. I mean, she writes some beautiful songs, but they
Does.
put it through the pop machine and the producer machine, and it just turns like
It
boom,
puts
boom,
it puts
boom,
out a
boom,
sanitized
boom.
product. It puts out
They
like
sanitize the shit out of them,
and
man.
that's I think that is one of the big reasons that a lot of kids these days are not really passionate. Other than the fact that
They're not hearing real music,
They're not.
man.
But like
They're not.
aside from
They're hearing
aside from kids not being
phrases.
passionate about much of anything, I think one of the big reasons that music is not something that's catching them is because like it's so sanitized. Like even in like
Sanitized.
you look at
Perfect.
any other decade, the pop music of that decade, the popular music, the stuff in the top 40, it might have been you can look at and you can look back and you can scoff at it, oh, it was pop music, but it had an identifiable sound to it.
Even
Like,
Cyndi Lauper had a sound.
It had
yeah?
a sound to
Yeah.
it. It had something that would
Thompson twins had a sound.
Yeah.
Thompson
You can
twins rule.
You can
A
understand
fart has a sound. Doesn't mean it's good though.
Boingo rules.
But like here's the thing, you can
A fart
you
has
can
a sound, like I said.
You can look back and you can understand why someone would listen to that and say, I like music because of it.
This is
A
this
lot
is-
of the stuff
It's
that's
like we
coming out-
talked about
Right,
Joseph.
because, but
there's
now
just-
I swear to God, you listen to pop music now, it is so fucking stale.
it's
It is,
computerized
it
and
is sterile.
sanitized.
We talked about
there's
there's so much around in pop culture right now. They don't have time to get into music. They'll listen
That-
to it. It's around
You know
them.
what? That's
but
a
they
good
won't
thing
get
about
deep-
shows
will not
like.
they
deeply
hear
get into
30-second
Can I-
clips from something,
can
and then
I-
that's all they have the attention span
But
for.
the
Which
thing
say what you
is,
want,
we
Mark.
got people our age in the 50s making these new shows, making these new television, making these movies where fucking Stranger Things brought in Master of Puppets and Metallica and all these kids.
Look,
and it
nuts
blew it up.
over it.
Hey, look,
And it
I'm
blew
30
up.
I'm
They
32
need
years
we
old. and I'm
need
set
to
in my
show
ways,
them
man.
what happened.
And
They
here's
don't
the thing.
know.
And here's the thing. Say what you want about them, Mark, but Ghost blew up huge with this generation because
That is fine
Mary-
with me.
because
Rock and
Mary
roll.
on a Cross, for
Mystique
some
was cool.
strange reason, Mary on a Cross got huge on TikTok.
And that's the song I don't like.
And I'm not a huge fan of that song. As a
You
Ghost
know
fan,
what?
I don't like that
I'm-
song.
I'm
But
open
like, say
to
what you want about them, that got huge
The
with
thing
these
is, what
kids.
is the biggest Kiss song? I was
got them
making
to
fun of
dive
it.
into it.
because they have such a spectacle and they have that classic rock sound. I saw them myself in Fort Wayne at a theater, maybe 1,200 people. Then I saw them with 5,000 people in Fort Wayne, and then next thing I know, they're selling out LA stadiums.
Yeah,
and I'm
but
like,
I've seen them
holy
twice,
shit.
and their crowd is old, like it or not. There's a lot of gray hair people that like Ghosts, so it's like they're
Oh,
bringing in that many.
I
young people.
would have gray hair.
Here's the thing. I'll
I
say to
would
you,
have
Jerry.
gray hair.
Now they
Jerry,
are.
but I have no
Now they
hair.
are. They
I have
really
no
are
hair.
bringing in younger generations now.
Can I say something? My lead's daughter, 16 years old, she went to Ghost. Somebody took her to Ghost. And
Outstanding.
She loved them. The thing is, we need to show the younger generation what I don't want to be one of these old people say what real music is.
Mhm.
What music is when they make music for just making music. Right now, it's just sanitized and popularized.
I mean,
here's the-
there are some,
It's on a fucking it's on a, what is that called? Like a conveyor belt.
there's some
Yeah,
pop
it's-
artists
it's-
that are new that I enjoy. Like I know I might lose my man card for this, but I like Sabrina Carpenter. I checked out her music and it wasn't half bad.
Of all of the pop artists out there, she actually has a decent
And
product.
I agree with that.
She's got it all. She's catchy music. She's very nice. Well, she's easy on the eyes. And
She always
then
wears lingerie, so that's
Yeah.
always
I
a
she's
good
call
sign.
her
very
the
she's
Jim
very
Croce
sexy.
of pop music right now. I call her
You,
the
you,
Jim
you
Croce
know,
of pop music.
Rochi,
I'm not a huge fan of
you know
her.
what pissed, I'm just gonna go back onto the Metallica thing with Stranger Things. You know what pissed me off? All these old motherfuckers getting on to new kids for liking them. Fucking gatekeeper motherfuckers. What the fuck you doing?
And
We
that's
Okay.
want
another
this
thing.
band to
And
get
that's
out
the
there. We
issue.
want
All
this
right,
metal band.
I
We
got
want
a
this
great
John
I
Mayer
this
got
out there.
I got
this
a
is for
great
Travis. I'm
response
gonna say
to
something.
that.
This is for Travis. Hold on.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a knock against you a little bit, man, but not a bad knock. Don't worry. You rag on bands like Lolliac and stuff like that. You don't like them.
Liliac.
You think they suck, right?
Yes.
But they're young bands and they're doing rock and roll and metal. We have to kind of support these guys in a way
I
because these are
support
young
Ghost. I just
kids.
don't like them.
These are young kids playing rock and roll. There's this other band coming out with they got the redheaded bass player,
Who?
redheaded girl bass player. I can't think of
I'm not sure.
something the jukebox or something. Drop the jukebox, burn the jukebox, something like that.
I think
They get
yeah, something like that.
they get a lot of hate from people like us. It's like, dude, these are young kids playing rock and roll, dude. Let them breathe.
My
I'm not a
Hey,
fan of
hey,
Lily.
my
even
One of
Greta,
the
even Greta Van Fleet. I
Right,
don't like them,
yeah,
but they're bringing good music to the
right.
masses.
But
And what
like
happens? That's their gateway to
and
older
and
music.
I agree with Travis. I think they're awful. I don't really like them,
I
but we
honestly
got to kind of
my problem's not with them just being a band I can't stand. Look, I acknowledge that they're trying to cover. I just think they're kind of lazy because all they do basically is just cover songs. They don't really
they have
write a lot
original
of
albums out.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I'm
But
saying,
what I was gonna say about Master of Puppets, like what Stranger Things brought that to back to the mainstream. My problem's not with them. Yeah, it's wrong for gatekeepers to say, "Oh, you can't listen to this." And I think it's fine that kids these days. I encourage kids to listen to heavy metal from back then. But my problem though is when they latch onto Master of Puppets and they don't go beyond that song. They just stick with that one
well,
Sure.
song
I seen
over
them
and
go back
over.
and listen to other Metallica songs.
But with
Uh,
me, the first Metallica song I heard that really got my attention was "Trapped Under Ice" because that was in Guitar Hero,
yeah.
and that encouraged me to go out and buy Ride the Lightning.
That's what I'm
But
saying. Guitar Hero needs to come back.
but with Master of Puppets, here's all the kids on TikTok. They're just playing the riff to Master of Puppets. I highly doubt they even go back into the back
I
catalog.
seen them go back and play Fade to Black and lots of other stuff
Well, then
because of
mhm.
that.
that's
So.
news to me, man. I
Well,
don't
yeah,
know.
I watched this shit. I talked to these kids who said, "Oh, I saw Master of Puppets on Stranger Things," and then I went back and listened to Ride the Lightning, and then I heard Injustice, and then I didn't really care for Load and Reload. Like,
How do
Well,
you
then they're
feel
learning
about
right.
how do you
Then they're
feel
yeah, they're
learning
Like
right.
learning right.
here's a great example.
I loved Road Load and Reload. I really liked
Mm,
those records.
load's okay, reload's awful.
I'm the guy. I'm the guy.
But like
You're that
here's a great
fucking
example
guy.
that
It's
made me
me.
smile. Here's a great
all right.
example that made me smile recently.
It's
I
okay.
assistant direct the plays and the musicals at the high school that I graduated from. It's a small little Catholic high school, and a couple weeks ago, a bunch of the kids in that program that I help out with, all these like high school kids, so like 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, were all getting together and planning a trip over the summer to go see Ghost. Like this little like that
That's
makes me happy.
awesome.
Like that
Oh,
is cool. Like these kids, like a couple of them went in the Green Day show that I was at last year. A couple of the kids that I work with on a weekly basis were at that Green Day show. So like these kids, a couple of them are really into music, and that's awesome. Like those are the kids that I want to like those are the kids that like there's hope, but unfortunately those kids are not they're not the majority, and
But,
it's unfortunate,
but
but
I'm
like
just saying,
that's just what we do what we can, but unfortunately the way that society is with the attention spans and the availability of so much, like, there's so much stuff coming at these kids. It's just there's stuff getting thrown at them every day all day, and it's so hard for them to latch on to anything. And there's kids that I like in every generation, like my generation, me and Travis, that grow up that our parents listened to nothing but classic rock when I was growing up, so that's why I love rock music. I probably wouldn't be where I am with the kind of music that I love if it weren't for my parents. But that's
I,
just the way it was. And I know that I am not the majority because like even in like my grade in high school 10 years ago, not a lot of people were listening to music I was listening to. There was a couple people that were, and like my best friends that I go to shows with still that are my age that I went to college with, we all love that kind of music, but that's not the majority. And it's just the way it is, unfortunately. And with every generation, it just becomes less and less people that are like truly passionate about this kind of music.
Is there a way we can change that? Is there a way
Podcasts?
we can push that?
I
Or
mean,
is
I'll
it
use,
or is it just a lost cause?
No, it's
I
not a
wouldn't say
lost
it's a I
cause.
wouldn't say it's a
Well,
lost cause, but every year that goes by, it gets harder and harder because
But
there's so much
but
more
what
that
I'm
needs to be
seeing
done.
that
The death rattle is in, dude. Sorry, it's getting close.
No,
Man.
It's
Jared,
getting
because
awfully
I'm
close.
seeing the death rattle of hip hop. I'm seeing
I'm not at all.
people are getting tired of it. Maybe you got the Kendrick Lamars, you got that
See,
stuff.
See,
everyone,
Mark, that is your generation.
Megan Thee
There are not
Stallion.
kid. There are no kids. I don't see any kids
but look, but
that
look,
are
but
getting
look,
tired of hip
I
hop.
see
I'm looking
that
at the
like
kids I work with at work. They're getting tired of this
Yeah,
lame
but
hip
they were
hop.
never into hip hop in the first place.
They were. They named off all these hip hop bands they loved, and they
I,
said the newer stuff
bands.
is getting worse and worse and
But here's
copying
the
each
thing:
other.
I would say, Mark, 90% of the people that are predisposed to like hip hop are not getting tired of hip hop. There are some that are kind of like on the fringes between
I'm
different
talking to
genres.
18
why
and
are we
19-year-olds.
calling hip hop the death of anything? It isn't. It just is
I
one of
don't
the
I don't
other.
see hip hop dying
It's
anytime soon.
one of the
I-
other genres out
I'll,
there that people are dragging onto.
I'll,
I mean, I
I'll,
think it's easy to sit there and do a TikTok video with your boobs out and sing
Exactly.
to a hip hop song. You know, it's like, what are you doing? What's that?
I'm
What's
talking to
that that's
these
going
kids
on?
that are getting disillusioned with hip
Well,
hop.
dude, some girl can sit there and lip sync a song and just do this.
It's
on a
like
TikTok,
when
and she has like
Nirvana came in
100,000
and
views.
Nirvana came in and
That's where
wiped
we're
out
at.
Hair Mile. I think
That's
it's
where
happening to
we're at,
hip-hop.
Jerry. It's the social media fucking platform, fucking pushing people to do a million views. And how do I do that? Well, let me just pick some random like pop song, and then I'm just gonna sit there and show my boobs to it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well,
okay,
all the
I
chicks
like
Mark,
your
that
boobs,
I
but
will
I hate
say,
the
I'll
song.
say that might be the case for a couple people that you're talking to, but I can guarantee you as a fact that is not how 90% of the world feels right now.
I'll tell
It,
you one
it,
thing.
If that,
if
if that,
if
especially
we're
America,
Europe,
especially
Europe
America,
and
at
Japan
least.
are still
But-
into rock and roll.
America at
well,
least. Yes.
okay,
Just
but
America.
yeah, but that's the kind of music that they're not.
America.
Hip hop has always been an American genre. Hip hop is
True.
they're not making music for
Yeah.
Europeans or for Asians or Africans. Well, Africa has its own. They have their own tribal music. They have their own heritage because of that. But I mean, they have Afro beats are huge, and that's what's influenced a lot of American hip hop. But it, no matter what you want, I think it's a lot of wishful thinking on your part because I know how you feel about a lot of it, Mark. Hip hop's not going anywhere.
It's
Hip hop
poetry.
will
No,
continue.
I would love for you to be
and-
right.
and-
Mark.
I don't
the
think it's
dominant
going
genre
anyway,
in
but
this
I think
country.
rock and roll
Hip-
is not dead and it's not dying.
Oh.
No, it's not dead.
Hip hop should not
I'll-
go anywhere. R&B should not go
I don't think
anywhere.
there's any such
No
thing as the
music
death of a
should go
genre.
anywhere.
Mark. There's
no
no such
music
thing.
should go
Well,
anywhere.
No,
except for big band. Big band kind
That
of.
still exists.
But yeah,
Despite rock and roll not being popular anymore with the mainstream crowd, I will say what I never stopped doing. My iPhone has over 27,000 songs on it, rock and roll and heavy metal. I have these big ass speakers at my store. I turn the volume up to the max, and I play nothing but rock and metal. And apparently, sometimes I'll get customers, or sometimes my employees will question me about the songs I'm playing. Like one time, I played "Good Day in Hell" from the Eagles, and one of my employees really liked it. And then
great song.
I played "Waiting for Darkness" from Ozzy, and one of my co-managers really dug that song too. So you know what? I'm gonna keep cranking that shuffle of rock and metal, and hopefully one day someone will come in and say, "Hey, I dig that song. Who are
Us
they?"
dinosaurs
No
need to keep
matter
pushing
no
the good
matter
shit.
where rock and metal sits right now for us, with the hip hop and the rap and the pop and whatever,
I just don't talk about
it's
rap. 'Cause I think
always going to be a form of music.
We
And
just never
we will
need.
always keep that alive. We will always keep that alive. And people who love it will always keep
We
that
just
alive.
never need to down their music. We just need to say, hey,
But
have you
Mooger,
checked this out? That's what I do. I
you
said,
say
hey, you like that?
music,
Check this
Honestly,
out. You
I
know,
just
you say
I can't
music's always
stand
going to be
people.
around, but it's so you can do a song on a computer now.
Yeah,
The
the
soul
AI
of writing,
is
the
AI
soul of writing a
sucks.
song will be gone soon. It will be gone.
No, it's not
AI,
that the
all
soul
AI.
of writing a song will never go away.
No, it won't.
I'm 50 fucking years old and I'm still
How
writing
many young
songs
kids do you
today.
see in your neighborhood playing guitar right now?
A lot.
I'm
a
playing
lot
a
actually.
guitar.
A lot.
You
I'm
are
playing
kids,
guitar.
I mean kids.
No,
A
actually, like
lot.
I do see a
Oh,
decent amount,
my
Jerry.
I
buddy's
don't.
18-year-old son is
And I'm
playing
in country
guitar.
music Nashville. I don't see it
Yeah,
nowhere.
it doesn't have anything to
My
do with that.
girlfriend's nephew Ricky
Music is
plays
being
guitar, drums, and loves fucking Kiss.
music.
And I go, you
Music
like
is
Kiss? What?
music is not existent in schools now. It really is. I
Dude,
mean, they're cutting them
Jerry,
left and right
Jerry,
Paul
everywhere.
Stanley's
A
son,
16-year-old kid,
Paul
Evan
Stanley's a millionaire,
dude, listen, a
Evan
and he's
16
Paul
Shane.
Stanley,
All right, I'm
He
and
gonna
he's
is
shut up.
Paul
playing
Stanley.
music. Whether you
Jerry,
like it
Yeah,
or
because
not,
he
he's
grew up in
making
that
music.
household and he's a millionaire.
dude, I'm
But
just saying,
Jerry, I will
16-year-old
say,
kid he just got a guitar, he plays drums, he plays the flute, he
I'm
plays
not
the
saying they're
saxophone.
not out
But
there.
I'm saying,
He's a
you know what his
flautist?
favorite band is? You
A
know what his favorite band
flautist?
is?
A flautist? God,
You
come
know what
on.
shirt he always wears when I see
I
him
will.
at my girlfriend's grandma
What?
house?
Good for him. I'm glad.
Yes. He loves Ace
Good.
Frehley. He's
But
16 years old.
I'm just saying, you compare kids that playing music, especially guitar, 20 years ago compared to now, I guarantee you they're less.
Dude, I
well, I'm
razz
sure
him
there
so
are.
much
Absolutely
I'm liking Kiss.
guaranteed.
For example, Jerry, the school that I teach at, they offer a guitar class, and there's probably 40 kids that are in that guitar class.
Well,
that
that's
are
good because that's a
learning guitar.
rarity nowadays.
It is, and
in
here the school that I went to, the high school that I went to, when I was there, didn't offer as much music. They got so much interest that the teacher this year started offering a guitar class. Like he had never done it before. He's been teaching there for 40 years. Had never offered one before. There had been so much interest that he started one. And I think that that's a great thing because honestly, and that's the one thing I said, that the school that I teach at, the music program is excellent.
Fuck yes.
They have, and I know that's not the case everywhere. I know music is one of the things that's getting cut a lot of places. But the musical that they're doing this spring, the school that I teach at, they had 150 kids try out for this musical.
Good. I mean,
150 kids.
I mean, even stuff like Glee Club, drama.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All that stuff's getting kicked. They're not going to cut sports.
No,
they're never going to do that.
but like the school that I teach at, their choir has 90 kids in it.
Good. That's awesome.
And I know that's not the experience everywhere because I know, like I completely agree with what you said. A lot of places it's unfortunately getting cut, but I think that it is still out there, and it's great to see because they still offer these programs. They offer this stuff for these kids, and I think that there are kids that are taking it. And that's the one thing I'll say is that there's not kids that are necessarily passionate about the music that's being put out, but they are passionate about the concept of music. That there is some kind of inherent concept of music that these kids are passionate about. I don't know how that then translates in 5, 10, 15 years, but there is something inherently about music that these kids are passionate about. And I'm happy to see one of the classes that they offer, they call it modern band, where these kids basically form rock bands. And like, I was filling in for this class. It was great to see like these kids are literally spending an entire period every day making rock bands. Like some of them are writing their own songs. Some of them are like mainly like learning more cover songs and stuff like that. But this is the kind of thing that like I wish more schools offer because this is the important thing that a lot of these schools need to offer and they don't. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, my girlfriend, like I said, my girlfriend's nephew, Ricky, his mom is into country music and he didn't get it from her. And the thing is, he loves rock and roll. He wants to start his own rock band. I said, dude, you start your own rock band, I'll promote you. I'll fucking help you. I don't care what you, and his favorite band is Kiss. And I go, why? Russia's better.
It may depend on your area you live into. You're from the Los Angeles area. There's probably
this dude is from the height. This guy is in the desert, Lancaster.
Oh, okay.
It's like way in the boondocks.
All right, guys. I have to run, unfortunately. I'm sorry, guys. I got things.
All right, well, let's end it, Jerry. Let's not like go abruptly.
You guys can stay around and hang out.
We're good to go.
We're ready to go.
We've just been rambling on about the theory of music for 40 minutes.
Yeah, it was fun as fuck. Hey,
Pretty
but
much.
Jerry,
It
man.
was a great conversation, but
Hey,
Yeah, let's not end it. I don't like it ended like that. I like to end. Hey, let's go out. Any final thoughts, Jerry?
No, man, this is a lot of fun. I'm glad we did this, man. I like doing these pop-up things. I don't. This is actually a little longer than I thought it would be, but it's still cool. We probably could have done at least 10 of the Judas Priest albums, but we'll definitely take that in consideration, Travis. We'll definitely do that. We'll do that. We won't consider it. We'll do it. But yeah, I mean, you guys take care. It's always fun doing this with you. You know, like and subscribe to BS Sessions page, everybody. Freeform, all that happy horse shit that we do. We do it. We do it for us, but we want you guys, like we talked about earlier, we want you guys to learn too, especially you youngins out there. Listen to us.
We want to spread the gospel of rock and roll and metal. That's
We'll
what we
educate
like
us,
to do.
and you can educate us if you got some music we don't know about. We're not, like I said, we will give everything a listen. At least I will. I mean, it's the way that I am.
All right, Mooger, final thoughts.
Hey man, thank you guys all for watching. If you're still watching, Joseph, thank you so much for being the institutional encyclopedia of our knowledge, and pushing that younger crowd, man. I mean,
Yep.
you're there. Travi, I love you,
I love you too.
buddy. And Mark, yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
love you. I love you too. I love you so much. So,
I love everyone.
Nobody loves Jerry though.
I
That's
love you,
cool.
Jerry.
Nobody
I
loves
haven't
him.
got to me yet.
But
Joseph, any final thoughts, man?
I'm not
Yeah,
a
I
lovable
mean-
guy.
I mean,
Shut up.
Jerry, love you so much. You are
Thank
amazing,
you.
dude. Like you guys are. I mean, the work you guys do to like keep music as a topic. That's the reason that I love doing your guys' show so much. It's so much fun because unfortunately there's not a lot of people that I'm around that I get to talk about this
Right.
like this with the stuff that I'm passionate about. But just as a wrap up thought, if you're watching this, first of all, thank you. Secondly, if you know of local youth music programs, please support them. It's important. It's important for these kids to have these opportunities. As someone who grew up greatly involved in youth music programs, who's still involved in teaching youth music programs, please support your local programs. They're losing funding. They're losing any kind of support. It's important that these kids have these opportunities, so please support them.
Absolutely.
Travi,
Well
any
said.
final thoughts before you pass out?
Oh no, I'm not. I actually, this is my. Well, aside from smoking weed tonight, I'm actually pretty straight-minded. So, I just wanted to say because I've talked with Joseph and I talked to Mark about it. Excuse me for how for the folks who tuned into the BS sessions this past Thursday. Please excuse my behavior. I was completely out of it, and I learned a valuable lesson from that experience. And I love you guys for allowing me on this show tonight, even though I was kind of an ass last time. So, thank you for still being my friends, guys, and I appreciate talking with you guys about music. And I love every one of you, and I look forward to doing more shows with you guys.
You know, we have
All
a
right.
weakness. We're human, so don't worry about it, brother.
I mean, I fuck up at least 2 or 3 times every time we do a show, so don't worry
Yeah.
about it, man.
Hey, I actually got
I
called.
pass out like 3
Yeah,
out of
I'll
4
say
times,
something
so.
I shouldn't have said every now and then too, or stuff like that.
Mark,
So
Mark
I get
forgot
it.
that Presto was released in '89. Like it is what it is.
What
It is.
about that?
I had an
Mark-
Educator Rush fan. That was like
Mark
weird. I was like, wow.
Well, because I wrote down the wrong song, damn it. Because I'm fucking
All right.
in a hurry.
All right,
But I'm
Jody,
just
I
gonna
gotta go,
say,
man.
hey,
but
let me
seriously-
finish.
But
Go ahead,
seriously, guys, I really appreciate you all for having me on.
We appreciate
just
you
love-
being on.
I love talking music, and I can't wait to see you Mooger, and Jerry in a couple months. We're gonna have a blast. Kick back, listen to some music, drink some beer, and just chill.
Do me a favor. Fuck with
Yes.
Bushy. Fuck with
Huh?
Bushy. He needs to be fucked with. I'm just gonna say
I will play nothing but Rush for Bushy.
thank you.
Don't fucking turn around and play Crazy Fucking Nights. All
Hey,
fucking
Crazy
night.
Nights rules, man.
I
Mark,
like
take
crazy.
us out.
I
Let's
like.
go.
I like crazy. Nights.
I'm just gonna say we're all human. We all fuck up.
Yeah.
We do call ourselves the Freeform Fucked Up Podcast.
Yeah.
But I did get a good get a good thing from Eddie the other night. He said, "Mark, you're really
Praise,
professional in the way you ran the
praise,
show."
Crazy night.
Do I interrupt you, bitch? I'm
Yes.
kind of trying to
Yes.
finish here.
Yes.
Trying to get not as much anymore. Even Eddie
on, Mark.
noticed that. I'm saying thank you guys for listening, watching. Keep music alive, and don't be a fucking gatekeeper. We're out of here, guys. Later.
Later, guys. Take care, guys.
So yeah.
Rock and roll.